The story unfolds at Qingding Academy in the evening, as students gradually disperse and leave the campus, yet within one of the classrooms, tension continues to mount, drawing a crowd of onlookers. At the center stands the protagonist Lin Yu, a senior at the academy, demanding the return of his sister's medicine. His expression remains grave, his face marked with injuries from a recent altercation. As he delivers a cold warning that the offender will come to regret this, in response the bully scoffs derisively, remarking that someone with a vitality index of merely 0.62 had the audacity to threaten him. This individual is revealed to be Zhang Yang, also a senior at Qingding Academy. Standing beside him, another student reinforces the humiliation, stating that Zhang's vitality index stands at 3.5, far surpassing Linnaeus, and mockingly advising him to stop boasting. He further adds with cutting disdain that if not for Linnaeus' exceptionally gifted sister, he would never have had the opportunity to attend Qingding Academy. Holding the medicine bottle in his hand, Zhang taunts Lin Yu, questioning whether he truly wants it. Without waiting for an answer, he throws it to the ground, and with a sardonic smile invites Lin Yu to retrieve it. Before Lin Yu can reach it, the bottle strikes the floor and shatters into countless fragments. For a brief moment Lin Yu stands stunned, staring at the broken remains. Then as rage surges within him, he lunges forward in fury. Zhang, however, effortlessly seizes him by the collar, and hurls him into a corner, as though he weighs nothing. Stepping on Linnaeus' hand and looking down with undisguised contempt, Zhang declares that trash belongs in the dumpster. Before he mock Lin Yu further, a voice from outside announces that a teacher is approaching. Startled, Zhang immediately withdraws to avoid being caught. As he departs, one of his underlings sneers that trash should remain with trash. Left alone, Lin Yu sits on the ground, his gaze fixed on the shattered medicine bottle. As he falls into thought, he reflects that the medicine had been sustaining his sister's health, and now he would have to work overtime to afford a replacement. Fury simmers beneath his calm exterior, as he silently vows that Zhang Yang and Zhao Lei will one day pay for this humiliation. At that moment a hand reaches out to him. Looking up, he sees Lin Xin, his classmate. Her expression warm, as she gently asks whether he is all right, with her assistance. He rises to his feet, and thanks her. She suggests that they return together. But before she can continue, Lin Yu receives a call. The voice on the other end demands to know why he has not yet arrived for his shift. Accusing him of skipping work, Lin Yu quickly assures the caller that he is on his way, and rushes off, leaving Lin Xin to watch silently as he pedals away. As he rides, his bicycle memories begin to surface. In the year 4832 of the Old Era, the world underwent a catastrophic mutation, and contamination descended upon humanity. In response, human bodies began to surpass their natural limits, awakening extraordinary abilities. Those who evolved into warriors gained honor and privilege, as they fought on the front lines for humanity, marking the beginning of the high martial era. It was soon discovered that even death did not free one from contamination. Instead, the deceased would transform into mindless, violent corpses, driven solely by the urge to kill. These beings came to be known as revenants, and the only effective method to eliminate both contamination and revenants was incineration. Lin Yu reflects that his part-time job after school is at a crematorium, where he incinerates bodies retrieved from the front lines. Upon arriving, he quickly changes into protective gear, swipes his card, and enters the facility. Sweat gathers as he prepares himself, his thoughts turning to the impending renewal of his sister's medical pod, and the necessity of earning 200,000 by the end of the month. As he walks through the dimly lit corridors, he reflects on the stark contrast between himself and his sister. By her sophomore year, her vitality index had exceeded 10,000, and she possessed the ultra-rare ability of telekinesis. Yet on their 17th birthday, she had inexplicably fallen into a coma, and has not awakened since. Standing before her softly glowing pod, he silently acknowledges her condition, entering the workroom. He admits to himself that he was born without talent, whereas his sister had always protected him. Now, however, the responsibility rests entirely on his shoulders. Grasping a gurney, he calculates that he earns 20,000 per cremation. Today's earnings will replace the shattered medicine, and 10 more cremations will be enough to cover the cost of the medical pod, as the incinerator burns a corpse. The body suddenly emits a horrifying scream. Watching from outside, Lin Yu reminds himself that every corpse brought here is contaminated, and that even the slightest negligence could result in death or mutation. It is precisely this danger that explains why the job pays so well, despite attracting so few workers. Then something unusual captures his attention. He notices a dark energy spreading within the furnace, something he has never encountered before. Stunned, he attempts to comprehend the phenomenon. Suddenly, the black aura begins to move toward him, and with a violent crash it shatters the containment glass. Caught off guard, Lin Yu stumbles backward. As the shadowy force invades his mind, his body trembles, yet unexpectedly he feels an overwhelming sense of exhilaration. As the dark energy merges with him, vivid images flood his consciousness. He witnesses a battlefield strewn with corpses. In this vision, an officer questions a young soldier about his plans after graduation. The soldier responds with unwavering confidence that he intends to join the army soon after. He is seen in uniform saluting, as his commander welcomes him into a special operations unit, where he vows absolute loyalty to his country and its people. Training proves relentless, with the sergeant emphasizing that the harder they train in times of peace, the less they will bleed in war. Driven by this conviction, the soldier pushes himself beyond his limits. On the battlefield, he fights fearlessly against mutant beasts, charging forward to defend humanity, until a devastating blow strikes him mid-motion, cutting him down as his blood scatters across the ground. Snapping back to reality, Lin Yu is overwhelmed with shock, his eyes widening, as he questions whether he has just witnessed the memories of a fallen warrior. At that very moment, a system interface appears before him, announcing that the soul-devouring system has been activated, leaving him stunned by this sudden development. Simultaneously, the chained mutant within the room regains consciousness, its multiple red eyes glowing ominously. Distracted by the system, Lin Yu attempts to analyze it, but a thunderous roar reverberates through the chamber. Turning toward the sound, he sees a demonic multi-eyed wolf, its body drenched in corruption and bound by chains, lunging toward him with feral intensity. Recognizing it as a level 1 mutant beast, Lin Yu curses under his breath. With a violent pull, the creature snaps its restraints and charges at him. With no time to react, he braces himself, but the impact sends him crashing to the ground. Seizing the opportunity, the beast attempts to tear into him, its jaws snapping viciously. Though still partially restrained, it continues its relentless assault. Struggling desperately, Lin Yu grips the creature's jaws with his bare hands, forcing them apart. At that critical moment, the system prompts him to read the soul memory of a level 1 warrior named Li Yang, and to select an ability to cultivate. The options presented are Immortal Will, Basic Military Combat Arts, and Ambitious Spirit. Under immense pressure, Lin Yu immediately selects second option. As the system integrates the skill, it instructs him to engage in real combat to increase proficiency. The monster's claws slash through the air as it attacks again, but Lin Yu narrowly evades, sliding backward before stabilizing into a precise combat stance. He senses a surge of power coursing through his body, his vision sharpening, as he begins to perceive the creature's movements with striking clarity. As the beast lunges once more, Lin Yu reacts instinctively, realizing that his body is now guided by the combat techniques embedded within the acquired memory. With heightened agility, he evades yet another attack, maintaining unwavering focus. Then, seizing a fleeting opening, he propels himself forward and delivers a devastating knee strike. The impact sends the creature crashing to the ground, smoke and dust erupting upon contact. Staring at the fallen beast, Lin Yu wonders when he became this powerful. Observing the dark aura emanating from his hands, he notes the system's update. His physical stamina has increased by 10%, and he can now perceive his opponent's weak points. Amazed, he reflects on the overwhelming potency of this newfound power. Attempting to trace its origin, he concludes that it must be linked to the earlier blue speck of light. As his gaze shifts to the monster's corpse, the system informs him that he now possesses the ability to devour its soul. With a faint yet resolute smile, Lin Yu activates the soul-devouring ability, recognizing that the corpse before him presents the perfect opportunity to test this power once again. Before that, he carefully gathered the remains of the fallen soldier and placed them within an urn. With solemn reverence, Lin Yu expressed his gratitude to the warrior and wished for his peaceful rest. As he approached the slain master, a realization surfaced. This had occurred once before when he burned the corpse, and now it was happening again, the moment his hand made contact with the creature's fur. A violent surge of dark aura erupted outward, radiating from the monster with terrifying intensity. The sudden explosion startled him. A tempest of dark energy engulfed his entire body with overwhelming force. Consumed by the oppressive power, Lin Yu clenched his teeth, struggling to withstand the crushing pressure. His eyes began to glow as he was driven to the brink, and a scream tore from his throat under the unbearable influx of dark aura flooding into his body. In an instant, chaotic visions invaded his mind. He witnessed fragmented images through the beast's own perspective. Its primal hunger, its insatiable desire to devour human flesh. Within these visions, the monster roared desperately for sustenance, slaughtering soldiers across a blood-soaked battlefield. After enduring the torrent of memories, Lin Yu collapsed to his knees and covered his mouth in shock. A thought formed within him. He questioned whether what he had just experienced had been the creature's sole memory. Wiping the cold sweat from his face, he uneasily reflected that he had never realized. Frontier warriors were forced to confront such horrors every single day. At that moment, the system interface appeared, informing him that a level 1 monster's soul memory had been retrieved. It then prompted him to select an ability for cultivation. As the options materialized, sharp claws, devour, and chaotic consciousness, he began to analyze them. He concluded that the sparks from the earlier incineration had merely served as a trigger to activate the soul devourer system. Now it seemed that he only needed to touch a corpse to devour it and access its soul memories. His gaze lingered on the choices as his thoughts turned conflicted. He hesitated between sharp claws and devour, uncertain which path to choose. When he considered the devour ability, a disturbing image surfaced in his mind, the grotesque act of monsters consuming humans. He reasoned that if devouring required him to eat human flesh, he would never be able to endure it. Without further hesitation, he selected sharp claws, deeming it the most viable option, especially since he had already witnessed its effectiveness during the earlier battle. In that very instant, a sinister scarlet energy enveloped his right arm. It twisted and mutated grotesquely, transforming into a monstrous blade-like claw that exuded raw, violent power. As he observed the transformation, the system explained that sharp claws could be activated during combat, allowing his hand to assume a claw-based state. Its attributes were displayed: an increase in hand-based attack power by 5%, accompanied by tearing damage inflicted upon enemies. A confident smile spread across his face as he registered the improvement in his stats. Staring at his transformed hand, he noted with a sense of exhilaration that his hands could now morph into claws, an ability he found undeniably impressive. However, a new notification soon appeared. The system informed him that Soul Devourer was now on cooldown, and would only be available again after 12 hours. This revelation made Lin Yu realize that the system had usage limitations. Burdened with numerous questions, he sat down on the floor, focusing intently on studying the system in greater detail. As he examined the interface, he noticed two options regarding military martial arts: use or absorb. Recalling that proficiency increased through usage, he attempted to decipher the meaning of absorption. Resting his hand on his chin, he pondered whether it implied the ability to absorb identical skills and stack them for greater effect. He concluded that he would need an opportunity to test this theory. Upon further inspection, he discovered that the system itself possessed levels, and that he was currently at Soul Devourer level 1. From this, he deduced that the system could be upgraded, although no indication was given as to how such advancement could be achieved. Rising to his feet, he resolved to focus on mastering what he currently possessed, trusting that the method of upgrading would reveal itself in time. Clenching his fists tightly, he reflected on how practical the military martial arts had been during the fight. He resolved to seize this opportunity to enhance his proficiency. Guided by the memories of the fallen warrior, he began practicing the techniques with precise execution. Fully concentrated, he delivered powerful punches that sliced cleanly through the air, seamlessly transitioning into complex sequences of acrobatics and strikes. As he progressed, he noted that the movements became increasingly difficult, reasoning that it would be impossible for an ordinary student to perform such techniques. Completing the sequence with a decisive strike, he acknowledged that although the techniques were challenging, inheriting Li Yang's memories made them feel as though he had practiced them countless times before. After the intense session, Lin Yu exhaled deeply as he caught his breath. As he assessed his body, he sensed subtle changes within his internal energy. He concluded that these military martial arts were far more demanding than the exercises taught at school. Even after a single set, his body was already fatigued, yet his blood flow felt significantly smoother and more controlled. Determined, he urged himself to continue and began another round of training. The following day, Lin Yu was found dozing off at his desk in the classroom, until he was abruptly awakened by the teacher's sharp reprimand. She demanded to know whether his parents had sent him to school merely to sleep. She reminded him that only 2 months remained before the entrance examinations, and warned that with his current vitality score, he would not even qualify for college. She further questioned whether he intended to spend his life hauling bricks at a construction site. From the front seat, Zhao mocked him, remarking that with such a low vitality score, he would not even be hired to carry bricks. Rising from his seat, Lin Yu promptly apologized, admitting that it had been his fault for sleeping during class. Shortly afterward, the bell rang, and the teacher dismissed the class, sighing in disappointment as she wondered why he could not apply himself more seriously to his studies. Resting his face on his hand, Lin Yu reflected with regret that he had become so engrossed in training the previous night that he had practiced military martial arts without pause. Completely neglecting sleep, frustrated, he noted that his proficiency had only increased to 11%, which he considered far too slow. Leaning against his desk, he concluded that real combat seemed far more effective for improving proficiency. His thoughts drifted once again to the concept of absorption, and he found himself wondering what it might truly accomplish, as he remained lost in thought. Zhao approached him and mockingly asked whether the young master had still not had enough sleep. He then taunted him, asserting that he would never become a warrior, and suggesting that he should drop out and take his comatose sister to beg for money, claiming that he would earn more that way. Hearing these words, Lin Yu fixed him with a sharp, menacing glare. Zhao, momentarily unsettled, revealed a flicker of unease as he sensed that something about Lin Yu had changed. At that moment, Lin Xin entered and intervened, stating that Zhao had gone too far. Zhao dismissed her interruption, telling her that it was none of her concern, and ordering her to leave. Ignoring him, Lin Yu took Lingxin's hand and calmly suggested that they should leave, remarking that they should not risk being contaminated by Zhao's stupidity. Lingxin flushed slightly, thinking to herself that Lin Yu seemed different, more composed, more refined, and noticeably more handsome, with an improved physique. Irritated by their retreat, Zhao shouted after him, calling him a coward. He accused Lin Yu of acting tough, only to run away out of fear of being beaten. Upon hearing the provocation, Lin Yu paused and turned his head. In a composed yet serious tone, he suggested that if Zhao was so eager for a fight, they should settle it in the martial arts room. The surrounding group burst into laughter, pointing out that Zhao's vitality score was 2.7, already at the level of a semi-warrior, and that he had even received special combat training from the school. Others joined in the mockery, warning Lin Yu that as someone who did nothing but sleep, he should not provoke Zhao. They added that if he ended up crippled, people would assume he had been attempting to scam compensation. Unfazed, Lin Yu accepted the challenge. With a steady gaze, he asked whether Zhao was prepared to take full responsibility for the consequences. The bully agreed without hesitation, declaring that Lin Yu had brought this upon himself.